Hello YouTube. I thought I'd do a little combination video tonight and we'll cover a couple of things. We'll do a cut and test, and I've got maybe a little something special for you too. The first thing I want to do is cover the knife that we'll be cutting up some cardboard with. And my last video I showed you the Kyley knives that I got, and of course I request them all without handles, because I can do that myself, so there's not much point in spending the money to get it done. And while the biggest thrust of that group right now is getting Wacos out so that he can take his Thrive and hopefully try it on some deer, I had to do one for myself, so I did the little CKC PenKnife here. This one again is in AEBL, and this is the new design. No choil, the ramp down here, and Kyley has also taken the Rockwell up on this one by a couple points, and as good as the last one performed, I can't wait to see how this one does. I'm very hopeful that we're going to get an extremely good result out of this. So we'll be testing that tonight. The first thing I wanted to cover, though, was an article that I saw. I think it was in the, not the last, but the issue before the last, Tactical Knives. And it was an article written by Stephen Dick. I've met Stephen. He's a really nice guy. I respect him. I think that he is certainly a wealth of knowledge. He has been there, done that, and I don't think anyone questions that. The thrust of this article, however, was, you know, to cut to the chase, that the information you got on the internet was inferior, not as good as what you got in the magazines. I look at that with kind of a mixed view, I guess, and I wrote a letter to him. You know, that's neither here nor there. But I think certainly there are a lot of sites that we go to that it doesn't take very long to figure out that we have a new person and they probably haven't done a lot, seen a lot, and they make some statements that there's not much actual testing going on with them. There's not much to back them up, and others that you know, there's knife abuse. I won't call it abuse, where they do all kinds of stuff to them. But I wanted to make the point that I think there's a lot of sites and a lot of people now use the internet to make videos that are extremely good, and you can see some extremely talented, very knowledgeable folks on here. Murray Carter, for one, uses it. I don't think anybody would doubt his qualifications at all. A lot of the manufacturers do videos. Kyley Harris, the guy whose knife that we're going to test here, takes a lot of his knives just as he gets them out of production, he uses them. And I just wanted to touch on that real quickly, that you know, another thing in that article was that there was, you know, people were hiding and you only saw their hands and stuff. Well, I think there's a lot of us out here. I'm looking directly in the camera. You can see me. You can see me do this stuff real time, right in front of you. So many others, the same thing. And I think that's pretty hard to refute. So you know, maybe they need to think about that. That, you know, they're painting with a pretty broad brush, if you will. Let's go ahead and see how we cut now. And I can tell you, this thing is phenomenally sharp. He really got the grind and the taper on this one just really nice. I just slapped some ivory micarta slabs on. I had some scraps left that were big enough to fit this, and I've started to mirror polish the blade. I've got the sanding portion done. I haven't buffed this one out yet, but it's pretty close. And it's about as sharp as I possibly can get a knife. And let's try it on. Oh, well, what do we have here? There's something in the paper towel. There's a couple of knives. I wonder why they're here. Oh, I bet I know. It's for my contest that I'm going to run. I'm close to 100 subscribers, and I noticed that just about everyone has a contest, and I decided I'd have a contest for my 100th subscribers too. And not only that, but because of the time of the season, we're going to have a Christmas contest. And we're going to have 2 prizes, and there's 2 different ways to get them. The first prize is going to be this trailing point Bark River. This is a first production run, and you know, if you want to say this is the main prize, I guess we'll call it that. And it's a really pretty knife. I think that someone would really be excited to get this, and I think they'd really enjoy it. So, you know, nice sheath. It's the sheath is marked Bark River. I don't know who makes it, but it's a good pancake style sheath, I'll call it. The other knife is kind of unique right now. You can't get these anymore. This is the old style Mora, and these are the ones that Ray Mears had, and he bought all of these. I believe this is a 501, and he bought all of the last of these from Mora, and his name is on this side of it, and he had them inscribed, and they are all sold out. I don't believe the last time I went that there are any more of these on his site. So I think this will be a really nice prize for someone. Standard Mora plastic sheath, nothing special there. The way the contest will run is this. It's a Christmas contest, so I figured we'd have a Christmas theme. The 2 ways to win are, one will be a general drawing. I'll assign a number to each entrant and pick one at random, and they will get the Mora. The other knife, the Bark River, what I want you to do is, this is being a Christmas video, I figured this would be about Santa Claus. And what we're going to do is I want you to go to your knife collection, and I want you to show me Santa's everyday carry knife, his utility knife, and I want you to tell me why. The other knife that I want to see is his belt knife, his bush knife, if you will, his outdoor knife, and tell me why he would pick that one. And for this knife, the winner's going to be decided by me, and I'm going to let the contest run 10 days until the 15th. And I wanted to end it then so that I could get the knives out to the winners in time to have them before Christmas, kind of an early Christmas present, if you will. When the contest ends, I will try to knock this out just as fast as possible and announce the winners at that time. So go ahead and get your entries in. Other than what I just outlined, the only other requirement is that you're one of my subscribers. I want to reward the people that are subscribing to me. So be creative. The better you are, the better your chance. Alright. And you can just PM me with any specific questions on the contest. I'll be glad to answer them. This knife, as you can see, will cut this any way you want to cut it. So let's go ahead and get cranked up here, and we'll chop this down and get it ready to send off to the trash. That's the first cutting cardboard I've taken with this, and oh boy, yeah, it's sharper than the other one. And I maybe should have brought a little more cardboard. I'm supposed to be able to make any length video I want now, so I'm hoping this is going to turn out and it doesn't chop me off when I go to download it right in the middle. And I thought while we were cutting this up, I'd go ahead and also do another story time for you. And this time we're going to talk about bears. And this one also involves my father. This would be back, I guess, in the late 60s, mid 60s, somewhere in there. We, in front of our house, had a small, I lived in the middle of a national forest. And we had a small park where we had taken all the underbrush and everything out of some trees. And we had, you know, just really nice picnic tables and things in there. So we would walk through there from time to time and just clean it out. Make sure it wasn't getting too crowded up with brush and ferns and things. And we went down there one day to basically check the mail, and it was right down by the end of the road where the mailbox is, and just to check the park out, see how it looked. And we went through there, looked pretty good. And as we got on the other side, my father stepped out of where the woods was, and the road is here and the mailbox is on the other side. And when he stepped into the ditch, he felt something move under his foot. And he looked back, and he had stepped on a bear. And, you know, to say we were both pretty surprised and pretty scared is an understatement. Well, the bear didn't seem to move or do anything, and we thought it might be hurt at first, but then we realized it had a chain around its neck. And at that point, we understood that it was from the game farm right up the road. There was a gentleman that had one up there, and he had left the cage open and it had gotten loose. So my father took it by the chain, let it back up there, and we put it back in the cage. And I guess about maybe 2 years later, some people came up from Florida and actually bought that one. They bought it for, if you remember, and this is going back a way, so you younger folks won't remember this, but there was a series on TV called Doctari, and they came up in one of the actual animal trucks from the series and bought him, and off he went. And the other thing my father stepped on once was a deer. He was bad about stepping on animals. And he had went out deer hunting. He'd shot a deer, and he had actually hit it in the back leg. He was trailing it. The deer was kind of hidden. It had curled up down in the snowbank, and he walked right on top of it. He fell across its good back leg. The deer couldn't get up on his bad back leg, and he was so scared he couldn't shoot. And so they milled around for a while until he finally got his wits about him and got off the thing and managed to finish the job, so to speak. But he had a rough time with animals. And update, this guy is just really sharp and cutting really well. I'm running out of cardboard here. We're going to have to start on this other box. But let's take a check and see how we're doing. No, it's dulling up. Yeah, it's dulled up a little bit. I think there's a spot in it. Right about, oh, it's not spot, it's glue. I don't know if you can see that, but there's glue from tape all over the thing. So what I may have to do, yeah, it's all over the edge, it's all over everything. I'm going to have to grab some WD-40 and clean it up a little bit. But I'll leave it right here in front of you. I just knocked it off. It's still sharp. Let's see if I can, there must have been some tape on that other knife. Let's see if I can cut on this for a while and then knock some of that crud off. It's pretty crowded up. Let's go ahead and I'm going to cut this up real quick, and I'm going to run and grab some WD-40, clean this edge off so we can actually see how sharp or dull it is. It sure doesn't feel dull at all. Hear that sound? This cardboard gets hard to hold when it gets small. Alright, I'm going to lay that knife, is that visible there? Alright, I'm going to lay that right there. Let me get a little WD-40, let's clean that gunk off that edge. use some goof off. That may be even a little bit faster. Alright, now let's see. How we do. Nope. Can't cut it that way. I can cut it that way. And I feel a slight roll right in this area in this direction. So we'll do the Murray Carter cardboard newspaper trick. And we'll see just how dull we make it. I don't feel the roll. It cuts good that way. It still doesn't cut this way though. Well, it did that time, but it doesn't cut as well as it did. And on just plain paper, oh yeah, no real degradation there. It did take a little roll. It's a very thin edge, and I can feel some spots on it. So I'll have to take a look at it under a glass and see. It has a spot. Right about in the middle. It may have just been me not getting all the crud off the blade, because it's cutting pretty good now. There was a bunch of tape on one side of that box that really gunked it up. 'Cause I think you can see that's cutting extremely. I still think there's even a little gunk in it. I'll grab my glasses and let's see if it will kind of shave hair, but it's not hair shaving sharp. And I need to get it under a glass to see whether that's rolled or whether it's just still crap on that edge from that glue. In the future, I'm going to be a lot more selective about what kind of cardboard we use. No, I think there is a little roll in that. So that's our test so far. I'm going to back this edge up, make it a little bit stronger. It's very flat, very thin, and I believe that if I thicken that up just a hair, it will completely eliminate that. As Waco found out with his N690, Hunter, once he thickened it up a bit, his edge problems completely went away. So that's our test for today. And don't forget the contest. I hope you all have some fun with it. I hope you all will enter and enjoy and just have a good time with it. And I'm looking forward to seeing your videos, and I think we'll just all have a lot of fun with it. So, yep, everyone take it easy, and I will talk to you later. Bye.